What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting from Orange County, California, and it's been a bit of a heat wave lately, according to them, not me. Been several days of 90-degree weather. 90 degrees don't bother me. Like, I can be out in the sun at 90 degrees and be just fine. It's got to be in the triple digits to give me pause. So, several days, I think all this week while I'm supposed to be out here, it's going to be 90 and up. So I'm okay with that. I like California heat because it's hot, but you don't get the humidity that you would get in other places. So again, this heat is fine with me. But let's talk about Cracker Barrel. They're in the news lately. They're in the algorithm. They hired a very liberal activist type CEO. Um, they've changed the Cracker Barrel logo, and it's got people upset about it. Now, let me just say this: I don't. I personally don't care about the logo change. It doesn't bother me. I understand why some people would not like it though. We've seen logo changes happen, and they not be for the better. All right, look at Uncle Ben. All right, we don't even get Uncle Ben no more. It became Ben's Originals. They removed the Land O'Lakes girl from the packaging. Aunt Jemima, they came for Aunt Jemima before. She had to go from having the scarf on her head to the pressing curl, and then they didn't bitch them on enough to where Aunt Jemima's gone all together. The Cleveland Indians logo, which people loved that caricature, it's gone. They've been rebranded the Guardians. The Washington Redskins, which I've never met honestly a native that had a problem with that logo. They became what, the Washington football team, and then now the Commanders. So we've seen this sort of thing happen over and over and over. At least Cracker Barrel is still Cracker Barrel. Now they got rid of the old timer in the logo that's sitting there, with the barrel by them. Honestly, as long as the food don't change, I'm okay with this. I like Cracker Barrel a lot. I go there a few times a year. I don't eat it a ton because it's not good for the aesthetic goals that I'm aiming for. But I do really enjoy the food, and as long as nothing really changes with that, I I'm okay with it. But what troubles me is, will this CEO stop there? That's what really has me wondering. Will she stop there? Because a lot of times when they hire these extremely liberal people and put them in decision making positions, they have to they have to go too far and start pouring their own personal beliefs into various different things, and this blows up in their face over and over and over. But these companies keep doing it. The most recent example being what, Jaguar. They had what was it, 97.5% drop off in sales behind that absolutely moronic rebrand that they did. Jaguar has always had this like old money feel to it. Young folks really don't buy that car all that much, and I guess that's what their end game was. Their goal, it was to try to make the brand more appealing to a younger audience. But why does everything, when they do these rebrand, it has to become really gay? Like that, they do this over and over and over. They do these rebrands. They try to reach a different target audience, a younger audience. But why is it that the attempts to reach a younger audience basically just boils down to gay? Look at what happened with Bud Light. All right, they hired this extremely woke woman in to make different changes. And the reason why I wasn't mad at her is because she did exactly what she said she was going to do. She presented them with this whole idea of, we don't want to be the frat boy beer brand anymore. We want to go after a different market, yada yada. And they chose to hire her, and they chose to give her decision making powers. So one of the first things that she does in her role is make that collab with a very controversial trans influencer, and that Anheuser-Busch still has not regained their footing from that mistake. They've made various different attempts to try to regain their foothold on the market, but they have not done so. And they've refused to absolutely apologize for it. They released commercials with the Clydesdale horses, and it just was like, it's too late. This is what y'all should have did in the first place. So I hope Cracker Barrel doesn't take that approach. It's very important for you to know your audience, know who your customer is. It was very, in my opinion, tone deaf for Bud Light to make the changes that they did and not expect, like, how could you not have known that the outcome was going to be what it was? How could you have not known that? In the case of Jaguar, how could you not have known? I mean, I'm sure they weren't expecting the drop off to be 97.5%, but how could you not have known at all that this campaign was going to fall flat, that you were going to fail? How could you not have known? Really, how could you not have known? So with this whole thing at Cracker Barrel, the CEO claims that people love the logo change. From what I've seen online, that's not the case. But honestly, online can be very misleading. All right, online can be very misleading, and I'll give you guys a quick example. The Red Wings did the reverse retro jerseys a while back, right? Just follow me. They were red and black striped. They were a callback to jerseys that they worn before in the early 90s. And based on what Twitter was saying, everyone hated them. However, when I went to a Red Wings game, I swear 40% of the people there were wearing those reverse retro jerseys. So if I would have listened to online, because I ended up buying one myself because I really liked it, but if I would have listened to online, I would have believed that everyone hated those. But when I'm at a game, half the people there, damn near, including myself, had one on. So what you see online can be very misleading. A lot of times, if it's really a big deal online, it's a touch lighter than nothing in the real world. So do I prefer the old logo? Absolutely. I'm not really that excited about this new logo, but it doesn't bother me. Like, really, it doesn't bother me. Will the experience at Cracker Barrel be the same? If so, I don't really care about the logo. I know a lot of people making a big deal out of it, but respectfully, I think that some people need to get a grip and touch grass. It's a logo. Ultimately, it's a logo. If you have time to be this, like, upset, this emotionally charged up over a company changing this logo, I gotta say, you probably not on top of your game. You can't be. You can't be a grown man that's on top of his game and you got this type of time to invest in things this small, a company's logo. I'm gonna leave it there though, you guys. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.